Welcome back to the channel. So this is a guide on what is futures trading and how to do it. I will also do an example of how to set up your first trade, and I'll explain the majority of what you need to know for futures trading. First off, what is futures trading? So let's say, as you would buy normally, let's say you buy one Bitcoin at, I don't know, $10,000. I'm sure we all wish it was $10,000, but yeah, it's not. Let's say you buy one Bitcoin at $10,000. You would basically be buying it, you make money on, obviously, let's say, I don't know, sell it at 11,000. I take home $1,000 profit. Probably not, because I'm probably going to have to pay 20, 30% taxes, so maybe not. But yeah, so you're basically buying to say that you're making money on the way up. Now, this is similar to something called, when you trade in futures, called going long. And when you go long, instead of buying the Bitcoin and holding it, I would instead enter a position. And I would enter my position at, so let's say, $10,000. And let's say I think the market's going to go up. And instead of owning the Bitcoin and holding it, I'd be trading it on the exchange. And let's say it goes up to, I don't know, 15,000 or something like that. I could take my profits, and that'd be how much I make from it. Now, there's something on the opposite. So, see, I know a lot of people do think about, I wonder if I could make money on the way down. Well, you can. So there's something called going short. Now, going short is, let's say I enter at 15,000, and it comes down to 10,000, I'd make 5 grand. And you're basically trading the fact that the money would go down, so, Bitcoin will go down. So going short is where we're trading for it to go down. Going long is where we're trading it for it to go up. So you can make money or lose money depending on which way it goes. Now, you can have something called leverage when you're doing this. Now, let's say we start off with $100 to trade. We start off with $100. Let's say, I don't know, I want to trade Bitcoin, right? And I want to trade it with some leverage. So let's say I put it on a 2x leverage. I am now trading my full equity now would actually be $200 I'm trading with. And let's say I went long on Bitcoin. So let's say we go long on Bitcoin. And let's say I think it's going to go up. Let's say I go long at 10,000. And let's say, I don't know, it goes up to 15,000. So that is, if, obviously, quick math, that's a 50% gain. Now, a 50% gain on a 2x leverage would actually give me a 100% gain. That would be basically my 200 would turn into 400. Now, obviously, that is the good case scenario. A lot of the time, that is not the case. A lot of the time, you will lose money. And that is exactly why a lot of people say 90% of traders lose their money, or something to that extent. So you've got to be very, very careful when you're using leverage, because there is something called the liquidation price, obviously. Let's say the price drops, I enter at 10,000. Let's say the price drops down to 5,000. I'm going to get liquidated. Because obviously the exchange I'm trading on needs to make sure that obviously they don't lose money, because they are now loaning me this money. The leverage that I am taking, I am being loaned that money to trade with. So you got to be very, very careful with how you do it. So the basics of trading, I'll explain most of it when we actually get onto a trading software. What is this? Get off my screen. Yeah, I'll explain most of it when we actually get onto a trading, exchange. But the main thing you need to realistically take from this is going long is you're trading, basically you're buying, and going short is where you're selling. Where you're doing sell. And that's basically give or take what you need to know. Right. So for this purpose of this video, I'm going to go on MXC, MEXC. They are not sponsoring me. Not a big enough YouTuber to get sponsored, but if MXC in the future wants to sponsor me, then that'd be amazing. I do use them quite a lot. I have been trading for about 4.5 years, and I've been using interchangeably Binance and MXC. Right, so we're here now. Right, so you can have different sorts of ways to trade, right? So if we go over to the future section at the top, if it will load. I'll have to refresh. Alright. Right, so you got futures as you would normally. So it's just explaining what it is. You probably want to read this futures overview. It'll explain it, explain the risks. Make sure you only trade what you're willing to lose. And yeah, that's about it really. Don't trade more than what you're willing to lose. And make sure you put your stop losses. I'll do the most common mistakes that people make as well. So you got perpetual futures, which is obviously this is what we're doing actually. So you can do it in dollars or you can do it in coins. Now, for the purpose of this video, because I'm going to do something stupid during the video to like show how risky it is, I'm going to do this on demo trading. So this is exact same as futures trading, and I'd recommend if you are trading for the first time to do it in demo, purely because of the fact that if you are trading for the first time, you probably do not know what you're doing, and most people do lose their money. So it's better to do it in demo trading first. So when you come on to demo trading, you'll have something down here that says claim demo crypto. You can click that, and it will allow you. It will pull up this little tab thing that's about to come up in a second. Hopefully, yeah, it'll pull up this little tab, and then you'll be able to claim up to, I think it's like 50,000 in demo crypto. Also, you do not make any money from this. This is obviously purely demo and nothing else. This is not, you will not make any money, you will not lose any money, it is just purely demo crypto. And the way the demo works is obviously we trade exactly as you would normally on normal futures. It's just you're trading with fake money instead of trading with real money. And it's a good way to learn, and I haven't found many other exchanges that actually offer this, so this is quite unique. And you could trade first to, you know, see how you like it, if you can actually make some money first. Realistically, you don't need the full 50,000 because most people don't really have £50,000 or $50,000 at least. So let's say you claim, I don't know, $100 worth, and you trade with $100 instead of trading with a full amount. And that way, let's say you get liquidated, you now have more to trade with. So how I put a position in, it's currently in loss. It's because I blatantly just randomly put a position in. I didn't actually look at the chart, I just put a random position in. And this is also for the video purpose. So, this is the position I put in. Right, firstly, there's something going on very wrong here. I'm currently on a 10x leverage. 10x leverage basically means if I'm trading with my full amount, which is 50,000 I got from this demo app, right? I'm now trading with a position of 500,000. Now, that is fine, but I'm now increasing my risk by 10,000. So every percent that Bitcoin goes down, I'm now going to lose 10% on my money, which would mean I'd basically lose 5,000 per percent it goes down. Obviously, on the contrary, if it goes up, I'd make 10%, but that is very, very risky and something that you shouldn't realistically be doing. And you want to be a lot more careful with how you do it. So I'm going to close this position. Flash close that. It might take a while. For some reason, I don't know why, but on my tablet, this is a bit laggier than it is on like other devices. Like on my phone, it's not as laggy as what it is on here. And it's just for some bizarre reason. I'm not 100% sure why it is like this. It does say network unstable in the corner, so it might be something to do with that. I'm not 100% sure. But first off, obviously, this is obviously our trade. Trading software. So they'll explain everything to us while this trade closes, which is probably going to take a while. I'm going to have to do it on my phone. Alright, so up here we have our times. So you can have the 1 minute chart, the 1 second chart, 5 second, 15 minute, 1 hour. Depending on which one you want to go for, you can go for different charts, right? Right. So you'll see different charts. These are your candles, so you can make them hollow if you want to, or so on. These are your indicators. I'll do a video on indicators at some point soon. And then this is if you want to get rid of like the stupid position thing that was up here, so you don't have to see it. You click this and get rid of that. Right. So here you can draw lines on the side down here if you want to draw your patterns or anything like that. There'll be a chart pattern video coming out soon. Right, so let's get into like the basics of what futures is. Well, not the basics, but like basics of how to set up a trade. So you have something called isolated, and you also have something called cross. So you have two different types of positions you can put in. An isolated position is where you basically keep your margin to one position, whereas with a cross, you are spreading your margin. and it'll explain this on here as well. The problem is if you go for cross and let's say it does reach close to liquidation price, you will get liquidated. So you got to be very careful of that as well. So hence why it's probably better to go ISO and keep your positions separate. Leverage is up in the top right corner. I think it starts off at 20x. I've moved it down because 20x is ridiculous. Right, so there are different ways you can futures trade to make money. Depending on what you're doing, depending on how much leverage you can use, they offer up to 200x, which I could not understand where on earth you'd use 200x leverage, because you're going to get liquidated very quickly. Your liquidation price will probably be about $100, and that's not a good way to trade. So don't do something like that. Realistically, you shouldn't really be using more than like 10x leverage. You can go slightly higher depending on what you're doing, if you're more confident or less confident, I guess. But realistically, don't really use that much. So depending on, let's say, how we want to trade. Let's say on the daily chart, right? If it'll load up. Let's say I want to go long or short depending on what's going on. It won't load for some reason, so forget that, right? Let's say I want to go long or short on a 10x, and I'm quite confident it's going to go up, so I'm going to go long. I can enter a position on a 10x and I'll be like, okay, I'm fairly happy about that. I'm willing to do that. But on the contrary, if I'm not, then it's not going to be a wise idea, is it? So realistically, why is it drawing? Right, okay. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, really, if you're gonna use this on your phone. It might be a bit better using this on your phone than using it on the website, because it is a bit laggy, and I don't understand why it's this laggy. It does say network unstable. I have tried switching the network on here, but for some reason it is very just laggy. I don't know if it's a demo one, because the normal one is completely fine. I think it's just a demo one because it's in the test net on the top. As you can see, it says here test net. So there's something to do with that. That is why it's laggy. So obviously, let's say on our 5 or 10x, whatever it's on currently, I want to go long. I can go on a market order, or I can go on a limit order. Now, if we go long on our market order, I'll basically be trading at the best price. So I want to enter my position at whatever the best price is currently. If I want to go on limit, I can type price in. So let's say it's at 64,300. Let's say I think I want to buy, but I don't want to buy yet, so I want to go long. I don't know, 63. I don't know, 64,200 maybe. So I want to go long at 64,200, and that's where I want to enter for my long. Obviously, when you're buying, you have to put a number that is below the current price, and if you're going to go short, you have to put a price that's obviously above the current price, because unfortunately you can't enter a sell below the price, because that doesn't really make sense. There are ways to do that if you want to, with different orders up here. I'll go through those in another video. For this one, we're just going to stick to the more basic stuff. So you got your limit orders. If you come down here, you put your take profits in and your stop losses in, depending on whether you're going to go long or short. So for the purpose of this, I'm not going to go for a limit order, I'm going to go for a market order. And let's say I'm going to trade, I don't know, I don't want to trade my entire portfolio, I'm going to trade, I don't know, 16%, sure, why not, 16%. And I think, let's say, I think it's going to go up. It's currently on the daily chart. I'm going to do a short term trade. Let's say I think it's going to go up. I'm going to go long. I put take profit and stop loss in. Let's say I want to take profit at, I don't know, 64,700. And then let's say I want to put my stop loss in slightly below where we're at. So let's say I put it at 64,300. This is a horrible trade because realistically I'm going to get stopped out most likely. This is a pretty bad trade to be doing, but this is just for purposes of setting up a trade. make sure you actually look at the chart and actually analyze it before you set up a random trade like this. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to randomly put it in. But you don't have to put your stop losses and take profits in immediately. That is if you want to do it there. The MTL is basically market to limit, which basically means, let's say I enter 16% of my position on a market order. Let's say it doesn't go all the way to that price, and let's say the price just jumps really quickly, so I can't enter at that price. It will put the rest of the amount in at a limit order, so you can be confident, obviously, your full thing will be filled. If obviously it returns back to that price. If it doesn't, obviously you only have partially filled order. So you can put MTL on. So you got your isolated, which is we're going to put it on isolated. We're going to go for a 5x leverage, and we're going to enter with 16% of our portfolio, which would tell us at the bottom over here our margin is 8,000, and we're actually trading 40,000 because we're on a 5x leverage. So I'm going to click open. Right. So the order will have gone through. It is a bit slow on here. It'll eventually show up. But yeah, that'll be our order that's gone through. Bear in mind that depending on how you choose to trade, you can go for different leverages depending on how you choose to trade. Personally, in my opinion, I probably wouldn't recommend going higher than like 10x leverage, especially when you're you don't really know what you're doing, because this video is for beginners. So I'm presuming a lot of you don't actually know how to trade this market properly. So it's best to just stick to lower leverage, or at best just don't use leverage at all. Maybe if you want to short and use the software for shorting, let's say you're just somebody who buys spot price normally, and let's say you want to make money on the way down, you can go and short it on a 1x leverage, and that'd be decent. You could do that. Or let's say on the other hand, I have, I don't know, $50 to work with. $55, let's say. That's the price of one avalanche currently. Let's say I want to buy one avalanche. But let's say I kind of want to buy two of them, but I don't have enough money to buy them. So I could, but I think the price isn't going to go down enough. So I could enter on a 2x leverage, and I can buy two of them and trade like that. And I could just leave it in. And if I'm confident that it's not going to go down, then that's a good thing, and I could enter that trade. That'd be okay. But it depends on how you want to choose to trade. There are different methods on how to futures trade. You can also swing trade. Swing trade would be basically if you go on our chart over here. I don't think our position's even gone in yet. For some reason. It's gone in on my phone, so I don't know why it's not on here. But yeah, you can enter here. Let's say I want to swing trade. Let me zoom out a bit. Let's say this is where we're going to enter roughly around here. If we say, I don't know, this is a rising wedge, measure it like that. We want to enter at the break, and we come down and we take some money. That is a swing trade, so you're basically trading with patterns. So you can do something like that as well, and you do that on a lower leverage. Make sure you put your stop losses and take profits and entries as well. And your stop loss and stuff like that will be over here. If I refresh this, the trade should be in now, hopefully. I wonder if it will load. I wonder if it will load. The position is in on my phone, so I don't know why it's not working on here. Oh, would you look at that? It's in, right. Cheers, it's in over here. So now we've got our position in. Right, so this is our position that we've got in. You can add your stop losses after and you take profits after if you want to. Reverse is basically something that you can actually do when you actually add your take profit as well, actually. So let's say, right, I think at the absolute max, it's not going to go past, I don't know, 5%. So let's say I put my take profit at 5%. Let's say I don't think it's going to go past 5%. I can put something called a take profit reverse in. After I take my profit, it will reverse the position. Now, this will only work if you've got enough money in the account to do it. So let's say if I take a loss on this and this is all the money I have, let's say I'm trading my entire portfolio, which I wouldn't recommend. Don't trade with the entire portfolio. let's say I enter that trade with a 5x and I lose, I don't know, 5%, I can't enter and do a reverse. Oh boy, if obviously I'm in profit and I do it, then you can. Your stop loss reverse is the same thing. It will switch from short to long. This one will switch from long to short. So let's say I click that or something like that. Confirm that. That can be your stop losses that you put in. You've also got, you can close your long. You got flash close, which if you want to close it in like a quick way. Maybe don't do that on the website. I think it might be an internet thing. Maybe that's why it's a bit slow for me. Because it's not very slow on any other computer, it's only on this tablet for some reason. Auto margin addition, right. So you have something called margin. Your margin is how much you're trading. The more margin I add into this, the lower my liquidation price will be, because if we're going long, obviously, or if you're going short, it'll be the higher your liquidation prices. Our liquidation price currently is 52,000. Let's say I'm fairly confident it's not going to reach that. But let's say it has a flash crash during the night or something like that. I can put auto margin addition on, and you click it, it'll tell you what it does. And it'll explain, as you know, what it is, how it works. But you can click auto margin addition. Make sure you have money in your wallet. So we've got 42,000 left. I can leave money in there, and I can add it to that. And then once I add it to that, I can take profit. Depending on, whether it goes up or down. And let's say if it does come down too much, I won't get liquidated because I've got margin in. So it'll reduce this. If it gets close to this price, it will reduce it. You've got your margin ratio as well. That's your risk, basically. And then that's practically most of how to set up a trade. This is the first trade and how to set it up. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll do some videos on like most common mistakes that traders make and some other videos like that soon. And I'm doing some chart pattern videos soon as well. So stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe. I will see you all later.